All right, guys, I've been waiting to hike into this lake for weeks, possibly even months. And I think we should be getting close to being there pretty soon. It's only a half-mile hike. I only have a couple GoPro batteries, maybe only be able to fly my drone a little bit. But I can start to see the lake, so we're almost there. It's only a little 10-acre lake. Hopefully we can catch some fish here. We got worms with us, we got lures, supposedly brook trout and rainbows in here. So we're gonna see what happens. Stay tuned. Cast number one. Probably gonna use spinners just for a little bit longer, and if those don't work, I'm gonna switch to bait, use some worms that I brought with me. This lake is super cool. It's a 10-acre lake. I can't remember how deep it is. It may hit 48 or 50 feet, but I don't see how because it looks like you can see the bottom in most areas of the lake. A few more casts of this and then I'm gonna try worms if it doesn't work. So either means one of two things. Either there's not any fish in here, which I doubt, or they're all out in the middle, or they're just not hungry. All right, one more cast and then it's worm time. See if we can get back here without falling off. It's really slick. All right, guys, we're at a second lake. This lake is a little bit smaller. We hiked another 1.5 miles for this lake. This lake looks a little bit more promising, but we'll see. We're gonna throw some spinners around. Looks like there's some activity on the left side, and then we may try just fishing this middle and this right side, and then switch to worms if that doesn't do anything. But this lake actually is a bit colder than the lake we were just at. There's a fish. Okay, so unfortunately on one of our first casts, we actually caught a fish and my camera died right in the middle of fighting it, I think. But that was a really pretty, probably 11, 12-inch brookie, maybe slightly bigger. So we should be able to catch a ton of them. It did not take very long at all. I thought I was snagged at first, but no, there's another one. Wait, just kidding. I tried to bring the fish back to shore to get a picture of it with my phone at least, since my camera was dead, and unfortunately he fell off my hook and went in the water and swam away. So, man, there's just so much more fish activity up here, which makes me think that this lake isn't hardly fished at all because these fish seem to be aggressive. Of course, now that my camera's back on, I'm not catching anything. There's some bigger fish jumping over there though. Oh, he was chasing it. He had it for a split second and then chose to lay off on it. But that was a smaller fish. Haven't seen any as big as that one I first caught so far yet. I'm gonna wade out to this rock. There's tons of tadpoles in here too, which is crazy. Even more so than the last lake, I would think. This lake's a lot cleaner. It's a lot more rounder. So it looks like these fish are really active right now, chasing bugs. I think this may be the month that dragonflies are mating, so that makes sense. I should be casting right into the good spots right now. I'll see, yeah, that one grabbed it right away. That was literally, I don't even think I started reeling it. A lot smaller fish. And this one actually looks like it's a rainbow. There are rainbows and brookies in this little lake. Goodbye. And he just touched me in the leg. My guess is the brooks are probably the bigger fish and the rainbows are probably smaller. But there are obviously some good sized fish in here. If we ever come back here, what I may want to do is stay the night here, do like a hike-in fishing survival sort of thing, you know, for 24 hours or whatever, and just, you know, cook some fish. Like I said, the first one I had, and that was a really pretty fish, and there's one right in front of me too. There's two fish there's three or four right in front of me. Just cruising the shallows looking for food. Oh, there's a big one coming after it. The awesome thing about this lake too is it looks like, besides the logs, it's not super deep, and so it doesn't look like there's anything super big to get snagged on. There's another good fish that jumped out in the middle. We just got to this lake not that long ago, and I'm already kind of in love with this little place. That was a bite, I think. Whoa. I'm gonna fish this side a little bit more, try the left side, and then I'm gonna use some bait, which that should be knocking them out of the park. And the trailhead comes out on the shallow end of the lake, so I was actually thinking this would go on the deep end, but it didn't. Man, this would be a great lake to fly fish. I can already see that right now. Most of these high lakes are. It's time to make my way back. This spot looks so good through here, and all throughout this whole cove, this whole corner, there's tons of fish. I can't imagine how many more would be on the other side. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, that was another nice fish too. And they're just everywhere. Once I get out those worms, man, it's game over. Oh yeah, there's a red snake right there. Oh, I just saw one grab at it. The bobber and the worm out now. It should not take long. Okay, we actually finally started getting a bite. Gonna turn off the camera for now unless it comes back. Cast at it right in the shallowest area and it just immediately got hit. Just tells me there's so many fish over there. Hopefully this is my last battery. There we go. That's a decent one too. Maybe not as big as I thought. This one's another little rainbow. Pretty native fish. Let's see if there's any bigger ones. That was a bigger fish. There's another one. Finally started hitting them. I guess this rainbow color is the one I should have been using the whole time. Another small fish, another rainbow. Wow, dude, this is so cool. Hoping to get just a few more before I leave, and by the looks of it now I'm starting to pretty much hit them every cast. Pretty sure that one was fish number 4, counting that brook trout that you guys didn't get to see, so I lost that one, which was a bummer because that was the biggest and prettiest fish of the day. The only thing that's something I don't like about this place is that since we are now in the Washington Wilderness area, I can't actually fly my drone over this lake. Otherwise it would be really cool to see all the fish jumping. The last lake we were at was actually the last boundary of where you could fly a drone. And on the other side of the lake, once you hit that area, you were in the Washington Wilderness area, so you couldn't. And that's where we are now, a mile and a half later. That one looked like a brookie that just jumped. He just jumped again. Try casting in the shallow area. There's more fish here than you would think. There's one. First cast in this area. Looks like another rainbow. I don't know, but I heard that. Look how pretty these fish are up here. There he goes. It's fish number 5. It's almost instantly when you hit the right spot. You don't need very long at all to catch the fish. There's another snake over here. Maybe the same one from earlier. Dang it. Should be able to get this back. So I'm like waist deep in this water now. I think one of those big birds made a loud sound. I think it got a fish. Probably a nicer fish if I had to guess. Gonna circle around this way since I'm already here a little bit. The mud I'm stepping into is pretty deep. Finally got another one. Again, does not look very big. Another small rainbow, slightly bigger. My battery's about to die, so hopefully I can get a couple more fish caught on camera before that happens, but it won't be very long until that happens, so gotta go fast. That's a better one. Or maybe not. There he goes. Few more casts. Right by this log should be perfect. Well, as it turns out, my battery died again once I got a fish. And that one was a little bit bigger. I'll take a handful more casts, hopefully catch another brook, hopefully catch something that's decent size. The interesting thing I've noticed about this lake is that most of the fish here will hit it almost immediately. So usually when you catch the fish is at the beginning of the cast, not the end. So they usually don't follow it, but usually they'll hit it right away. If there's this much activity in the middle of the day, I could only imagine how much activity is during the evening when the bugs really come out. I fished about half of this lake, and it seemed like some of the areas started to get fished out after a couple fish, so I would move down a little ways and start catching more fish. I think that was a decent fish. I lost him, dang it. There's a nicer one right in front of me that just jumped. Now, over there on one of those, near one of those logs, there's this black cloud, and I couldn't figure out what it was in the water, and it was tadpoles. There were so many tadpoles over there. I'm probably gonna take a few more casts and that'll be it for this video. Which really was more than I expected for finding 2 new first spot locations. We weren't even planning to come here. We just decided that we may as well, since it was only another 1.5 miles from that other lake.